men and women of America's Homeland Security apparatus do important work to protect us, and Republicans and Democrats in Congress should not be playing politics with that. We need to fund the department.
The president and his backers hold fast in their fight against any and all Republican attempts to change his immigration policies. That same group believes people should give Barack Obama credit for the current job numbers. We have a lot of discourse to dig into. So let's all do this by welcoming back to MidPoint Republican Representative for the 27th Congressional District in Texas, Blake Farenthold. Congressman, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be with you. I much prefer the easy questions than the hard ones, though.
No, I'm sorry about that. We decided, we did a little poll here. We decided to go with the hard ones today because we know that you can handle it.
All right.
We're all over it there, Congressman. Here we go. Third time now for this immigration bill. The Department of Homeland Security is involved. The American people, as I said, their eyes are glazing over at this point. What is going to have to happen here? Well, let's simply put, is anything really going to happen substantively, knowing that the president is not going to sign anything and the Democrats are going to block it every chance they get?
Well, you know, there are a couple of options. We can hold fast and not pass anything and see a shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. But the numbers I've seen show 95% of the Department of Homeland Security would be deemed essential government employees, so they'd actually come to work if there were a lapse in funding. So I'm not sure how effective that would be, but it's certainly an option. My fear, and one of the reasons I voted against the Cromnibus back last year, was that what I'm afraid would hit the deadline and would do what's happened on several occasions and get all the Democrats in Congress and a handful of Republicans to pass out something that doesn't stop the president's unconstitutional executive amnesty program.
Congressman, you know as well as I do that if indeed something happens on February the 28th, the Department of Homeland Security, the funding expires, that the Democrats are going to look, they're going to say, it's Blake Farenthold's fault. It's the Republicans' fault. You guys did this at a time when ISIS is growing, we have other terrorist problems in this country, and you're the ones putting us at risk.
Sure. The media definitely puts spin on that, but we've come up with some solutions that fund everything but the president's unconstitutional amnesty program. And I took an oath to protect the Constitution. And protecting the Constitution means not letting the president bypass the separation of powers. Immigration specifically was laid out in the Congress, was given the power to Congress to create a uniform system of naturalization. It's given to Congress, not the president.
But has he successfully backed you and the rest of the GOP into a corner here? Because you know the backlash that's going to happen here if indeed the media, whomever, the public carries the water forward and says Republicans did this and you've shut down the government again. Either way, you know you're going to get hammered, so he's got you. At least it seems that way to people.
And worse yet, at a time with ISIS expanding its reach and the terrorist attacks in France, definitely Western country, what happens in the event there is an attack on the homeland during this lapse of funding? It's got a lot of my colleagues running scared.
What about you?
Listen, I think our Constitution comes first, and I think a lapse in funding for Homeland Security, we're still going to see the essential personnel at work.
So you're not worried about it then? You're not worried about a shutdown then, or you're not worried about all these people who say that?
I don't think a shutdown will substantially decrease our ability to protect the country. Certainly not a short-term one with the majority of the folks in Homeland Security being deemed essential personnel. But a long-term one, I'm going to start to get worried after a couple of weeks.
Okay, I've only got a minute left. Actually, 45 seconds. I wanted you to please tell us about the Innovation Act.
Innovation Act is something designed to deal with patent trolls. If you can't go into a restaurant and get Wi-Fi, chances are it's because an unscrupulous attorney has sent that restaurant chain a letter saying, give us money for questionable patents on Wi-Fi, or we're going to sue you for having it in your restaurant. And it could eventually go down to end users. It's designed to stop an abusive litigation practice.
And this is something that you're pushing here. This is protecting intellectual property, correct?
It's protecting legitimate intellectual property while still allowing for new technologies and innovation to get out.
Congressman, do us a favor. Come back again soon, because this immigration bill is going to go on for some time here, and I sense that we're going to be fighting this battle for a while, and you know that the left is going to be coming after you very soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Congressman Blake Farenthold, thanks so much for joining us.
Bye-bye.
All right. Now, the president is talking immigration, but on the other side of things, we are talking about what is happening around the world at this moment. We just talked about national security. Well, there's a big fear that we may be looking another war right in the face. Stay with us. MidPoint will continue.